Now, let us continue. Looking at what we have, we've got a light version and we've got a dark version. Theming doesn't end here. As much as when we think about it in a black and white fashion, but theming goes beyond colors. Okay, so let's take that further. Okay, looking at our UI, you can see that our components, they have got a certain radius. Okay, so we've got two options to go about this. We can identify randomly as we create our JSX element or our UI element and some sort of define this radius as we are coding, or we can try to think of theming as a some sort of a general UI practice instead of switching colors from light to dark. So what do I mean by that? So I mean, we can look at what is this radius, okay, for all these components. We can get that value here. I think it's this one, as you can see. Okay, this is a radius of 10. We can take this and include it in our theming system. So as you can see, now our theming goes beyond just switching between light and dark mode, but also it carries some important aspect of the entire application. Imagine the client or our boss comes and say that, I don't like this border radius. Okay, can you make it straight instead, like sharp corners? Are we going to go through our UI and change this in each and every place and take almost like 2 months trying to change this? No, there is a better way to go about it, is to declare the radius at a global level as part of the theme, so that if we want to change it, we can change it in one place. Okay, so what we are going to do here now, we are going to just make sure that this becomes one thing. Okay, these are all the colors that we have. Okay, so apologies about that. Okay, we might as well make it one thing, and then after, we are going to define our radius. Okay, my apologies about that. So what we are going to do now, we are going to type here, let's say comp radius. Okay, apologies about that. Comp radius, we might as well make it small letters. Okay, let's say comp radius. This means component radius. Okay, so for now, we are not going to be some sort of very specific when it comes to the values. Okay, we will change these values when we are executing. Okay, so for now, let's just put 10 pixels. My apologies about that. So the idea here is defining these variables. Okay, obviously, what values are they going to be? We might tweak things in development. Okay, so we've got comp radius. So let's just look at this. So we might as well here stick to some sort of one what can I say, variable naming style or convention. Okay, my apologies about that. Okay, we might as well stick to that so that we can have some small letters. Everything starts with a small letter. Okay, as you can see. So we've got comp radius of 10 for now. Okay, I'm happy with this. Let's go back here and check on our UI again. Okay, if you look at our UI, okay, more especially on the front page or on the shopping page, let's go there where there are products. Okay, somewhere here and even here. Okay, we've got lists here. Okay, we've got list here. So this is a list of product. Okay, in between we've got some gaps, or in between list of an item, or in between items of a list. Okay, I think that's the best way. In between items of a list, we've got some gaps here. There's a lot of ways to think about these gaps. Okay, we can think of these gaps as something that we are going to randomly declare, or we can think about them beforehand and include these as part of the theme. Okay, so what do I mean by that? We can declare some sort of a value, this gap value for all our list. Okay, why are we doing this? Okay, remember, in this course, we are taking you, or I am taking you from just being a project based developer creating random projects to some sort of a production grade developer. Okay, so when you are working for a professional company, the quality of your code, the quality of your work, and how you do things, the principles, and also how reusable not only your code but only also your thinking. So there is something called as reusable thinking. Okay, so your thinking, it's important. It needs to be of a high quality. So the reason why we are getting into these things, okay, I want to help you to really, really think about development in a better way. Instead of having a lot of unrelated pieces of code, not well thought of, I want you to be in control. I want when your boss comes to you and they ask you to change something, you just go to your declaration file, you change it there, and it changes everywhere. Okay, so let's continue. So what we are going to do now, on our theme, we are going to have a gap, okay, which is a list gap. Okay, so meaning that all our list will have one gap, okay, that we will adjust as we wish. So let's just go here, and then we are going to declare a variable which is a list gap, okay, as you can see. And then let's just put this as 10 pixels as well. Okay, the value here is not that important, but what is important, it's what can I say, what is important, it's the idea that we've got this variable. Okay, also the other thing that we need to be aware of is that, okay, this gap will change as the screen becomes smaller. Okay, as you can see here, we don't have a mobile version. Okay, so obviously we will see what we will do about it. So this gap on a bigger screen is not going to be the same on a smaller screen. So we might as well, apologies about that, we might as well come here and we have a list mobile gap. Okay, okay, let's see how are we going to do it. We've got a mobile screen, we've got an SM screen, small, medium, and we've got the large screen. Okay, so let's do it like this. Let's think responsiveness from day one, or from the get-go. We've got a list, a list mobile gap. I'm happy with that, which is the mobile phone. And then we've got a list, let's say a list tablet gap. I think this makes sense. Okay, and then we have a list desktop gap. Okay, okay, a list desktop gap. Apologies about that. Okay, so comp radius, I don't have much of a problem with that. And then we've got a list mobile gap, which is going to be, let's say 5. It's going to be 10. Let's say this one is going to be 20. Okay, so on desktop, this gap is going to be 20, on tablet it's going to be 10, and then on mobile it's going to be 5. Okay, we can still play around this and change it according to our problem. If maybe we think that there is a need to add some sort of a breakpoint, I will explain more about breakpoints later. A breakpoint in between this let's say tablet and mobile, we will do that. I apologize about that. Okay, so let's just continue, guys. Okay, we have managed to add some sort of the list here, the list gap here, which is going to be some sort of a global variable. Okay, this doesn't end here, guys. Okay, we've got the overall containers. Okay, if you look at this at this UI, okay, I'm not sure about you, but it looks like to me, I wish I can be able to do this. Yes, it looks like to me, you see, there is some sort of an alignment here. Okay, this is not randomly or it just happened. Okay, this is some sort of a control of the designer. Okay, the designer want things to be like this, so it looks like to me there is some sort of a horizontal padding. Okay, which is the same on left and right. Okay, as you can see here, it might not be, apologies about that. Here, it might not be like aligning 100%. Let me just click undo. Okay, so here it might not be aligning 100% with this one, but it's more important that it aligns just like this side. Okay, so we need to do that as well. So what is this called? Okay, so let's call this a page heading. Okay, in fact, it's not just padding. Okay, it's page horizontal padding. Okay, let's call this page small letter page, let's say page h padding. Okay, page h padding. Okay, still we need to some sort of include the responsiveness. Okay, my apologies about that. Let's say this is I want to involve page. Okay, so let's say it's a page x. Okay, page x mobile padding. It's too long, but I like the fact that it's meaningful. Okay, because what is important is the meaning. Okay, if you get a tendency of having a meaningless variable, not only you are going to confuse yourself after 3 months from now, if sometimes even after 2 days. Okay, depending on how big your code is and how fast your pace is. Okay, how fast you are moving, so it's easy to get confused. So it's better to opt for long variable names which are meaningful, which will help you with maintenance. So on mobile, let's say this is going to be 15 pixels. Okay, this is going to be mobile, and then we're going to have a tablet. Okay, page x. I think this mobile can be a small letter, and also this tablet can be a small letter. Page x tablet. Okay, which is 25 pixels, and then desktop. Desktop, let's say this is 90. Okay, so it's just an example. We will change these. Okay, okay, now as you can see, guys, we are starting to lock, okay, our theme. Okay, we are starting to have some sort of a general some sort of well defined and locked theme. Okay, which is going to be easier for us to some sort of update, change, and some sort of work around. Okay, okay, cool. And then what else? The other thing that I can see here, guys, I see some certain sections. Okay, I see some certain sections. This is a section, this is another section, and this is another section. Okay, this is another section. Remember the borders that we had before it. Do we have padding? Let's see what type of padding do we have. Okay, my apologies about that. Let's see what type of padding do we have. Okay, we only have here the page padding. Okay, cool. We've got some sections, guys. Okay, so we can copy this. Okay, this padding. Okay, and change it to section, which is sec. Okay, as you can see, guys, sec, section, and then sections. Okay, okay, and then we can copy the same thing. Okay, and apply it to components. Okay, let's say we're going to have a component. Okay, what we have just done here is, as you can see, guys, let's go back here so that this can be easy for us to see. Okay, check here. This is a section, as you can see, and then this is a section. If you look at the size of this section, it looks like the same. If you look at the padding of this section, it looks like the same. Okay, as you can see, this is another section. Okay, this is like this for a reason. Okay, so what we are doing now, we are declaring some variables to control the padding of this section. Okay, what else do we want to do? And also, what if the other thing that we have done, we have created a padding for components. Okay, this is a section. This is a section. It might have its own padding. Okay, but these are components. Okay, when I double click here, these are components and they might have a certain padding. Okay, so what we are doing here, we are locking our theme. Okay, so that we can have one source of truth when it comes to styling. Okay, so that we really don't have to struggle with styling. Okay, based on what I see, I think I'm happy with what we have come up with. There is nothing much to do now. We are getting ready for development. Okay, so this is a list of all our variables for theming. If you have made it this far, thank you so much. I am Matthew Msingathi, the designer and developer from South Africa. Please don't forget, if this is adding value to you, don't forget to leave a review. See you on the next one.